The top 5 most commonly asked questions about life insurance. Stay tuned. My name is Julius Gilger, and these are the top 5 questions that I get asked about life insurance all the time. Do I need life insurance? The answer is, it depends, but in most cases, I would say yes. If someone depends on you, maybe a spouse, a child, an aging parent, then yes, you should have life insurance. If you have debt, maybe you have a student loan, maybe you have a mortgage, something that needs to be paid and you pass away, then yes, you want to have life insurance to take care of any debts that you may leave behind. The purpose of life insurance is to strengthen your family's financial situation and position, so that way if they lose you, they can take care of any financial obligation that you've left behind. All right, so I meet with hundreds of families a month, and families ask me this almost all the time. So what happens when I pay into my policy and my coverage ends? Well, when someone's asking about their coverage ending, that typically means we're looking at a term plan where they have coverage for a number of years. So when a policy ends and the coverage comes to conclusion, let's say you got a 30-year plan and now the 30-year plan is over, whatever premiums you paid into that policy, the insurance company keeps it and your coverage is done. Now there are plans where you're gonna have an option to select return of premium, which really means cash back. And so what happens on a term plan with cash back? Well, all the premiums paid into your policy will be given back to you at the end of the plan, which basically means you've created a savings plan for yourself, because while you've had coverage, you've been paying the monthly premiums, and once the coverage ends and the plan ends, you get all the premiums back tax-free. Another option you may have is that your term policy, when it's coming to an end, some companies will allow you to convert that into a permanent policy, which will allow you to have coverage for the rest of your life. So another question that I get asked all the time is, when should I buy life insurance? Well, certainly before you die, right? All jokes aside, guys, death can come at any time. Now, one story that I talk about all the time with clients is the Kobe Bryant story. Kobe Bryant had just retired. He was spending time with his daughter. He was on a helicopter ride going home, and he unfortunately, unexpectedly passed away. Now there's a saying, it's better to get life insurance 5 years before you need it versus 5 seconds too late. Now there's another example of a lady that works on our team, and she was helping a client fill out an application for life insurance. This client didn't have his payment information with him, and so he had to come back to make a payment or to give the payment to the agent so that way they can start the application process for the life insurance policy. Well, a week went by, the agent found out that unfortunately the client had been shot and killed literally days after she met with him for life insurance, and now because he didn't give her the payment information, no coverage was in place and he left behind his family. The reason I'm sharing this with you guys is because the best time to buy life insurance is right now. Tomorrow is not promised, and you want to make sure you have the protection in place so you can have the peace of mind that if something were to happen to you, your family is protected and you are not leaving a financial burden. Now, one question that I get a lot from clients is, how much life insurance should I get? Now, the answer to that question is different for everyone because everyone's family, everyone's situation is unique and everyone's needs are very different. But the goal is to make sure you have enough coverage to meet the needs of your family. It's important to understand the financial impacts when a person passes away, whether it's loss of income, an increase of expenses for burial and funeral costs, maybe the expenses that remain after a person is gone to make sure those expenses can be paid. Now, you might hear experts in the industry say that a rule of thumb is getting 10 times the amount of insurance compared to your annual salary. At the end of the day, you want to consult with a licensed agent to determine the right amount of coverage to fit your needs and ultimately your budget. All right, now the number one question that I get asked the most out of all the questions of questions: do I need life insurance if I have life insurance through work? All right, now work coverage is very different than personal coverage. So work coverage is a group coverage plan which allows someone that works at a company to take advantage of a group policy which will give you a plan for a very affordable price. However, you typically can only get 1 or 2 times the amount of your annual salary of coverage, which may not be enough for your needs. Now, like I mentioned, this coverage is only good while you're working there. So what if you retire? Most cases, your plan ends when you retire. What if you change jobs, right? Most Americans change jobs every few years, and not every company offers a group life insurance plan. So if you leave one job and you go to the next, you may no longer have any work coverage. Or what if you get sick while you're working there and now you're uninsurable to get a personal private insurance plan? Let me give you guys an example. All right, so a business partner of mine, he had an aunt named Tina. Now, Tina had a prestigious job. She was an executive at a company. She had $1 million of work coverage, which most people will think, wow, $1 million of work coverage is great, right? So here's what happened. Tina gets diagnosed with cancer, which is sad, but things like this happen, guys. She's undergoing treatment. She's having to miss work because she's getting the treatment she needs to get better. So she's out of work for about 2-3 months. So after Tina has missed her 3rd month of work, the company makes a decision that they have to replace her position because she plays a key role and they need someone to fill that role. So the next thing that happens is, unfortunately, Tina gets let go. She does get better in the interim, which is great, but a few months later, Tina ends up passing away. And because she's no longer part of the company, that work plan is no longer in place. And now, because she's had cancer recently, she's also uninsurable, so she couldn't go and get additional coverage. So when Tina thought she was gonna leave $1 million behind for her family, she unfortunately ended up leaving the family with nothing. So my answer to everyone when they ask this question is, if you have coverage through work, you're part of a group plan, that's great, that's phenomenal, keep it. But also make sure you have something private that's in your name that you can't lose, that won't go away if you change jobs or something happens outside of your career. So these are the most frequently asked questions that I get, and hopefully this encourages you to go out and get some life insurance to protect you and your family. If you found this information helpful, make sure you smash the like button, go ahead and leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you're an agent looking to join a team, go ahead and click the link below, and one of our team members will be in touch with you within 24 hours. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.